It's been a while since I made a video, but here's some food for thought, as they say. Yeah, modern slavery in Europe. If you are a indigenous European, let's say in England here, I'm an indigenous Englishman, should I be concerned about modern slavery? And what is it, and how is it happening? Because I saw a clipping in a paper about it, talking about the problems of modern slavery. Exploited people in England, and it's how quite common it is. And there was like a map of the countries where the slaves come from, and it was mainly China, Nigeria, Pakistan, and a few other places around there. There may have been some in the east. I don't think in Europe. Sorry, I don't think they were though. It was mainly from those countries. And this is important because obviously are European people exploiting those ethnic minorities that come here? No, probably not. They're probably exploited by their own people. This is because this is exactly like as far as I'm concerned, pretty much what happened to the Irish. I saw a documentary about Ireland, and it was really nice actually. It was because they were. It was probably filmed in the 1980s, early 80s, and they were still working with like tin, and they were totally off the system. You know, they were farming and everything, and they were trading and all of that. It hadn't hardly changed in hundreds of years, but there they were mainly just old people in their 60s and even 70s working on the land, and then you had a few very young children, because most of their children were over earning money in Europe and maybe America and stuff like that. But I watched another one about the Irish immigration into England, London, because I'm half Irish and I've got an Irish grandparent in London. And basically, yeah, they were poor, so they left because of money, and they came to England to earn money so that they could save money and send it back to their families and make a life for themselves, save some money up where they were living in. And they did a lot of labour that didn't pay very well. They were exploited. They had no contract. You know, they were paid cash in hand. They were worked hard. You know, a lot of them had a hard time. They were worked to the bone, and they were exploited by, as from this documentary I watched, Irish people, Irish businessmen that had a building trade. They weren't exploited by Englishmen, as far as I'm concerned, from that video. So this is the same thing about modern slavery. You know, they're exploited by their own people. So why, as an indigenous Englishman, should you feel guilty about it like it's your problem? It's a problem caused by immigration, really, when you look at it. Because does an illegal Pakistani comes here, is there an Englishman waiting for him that runs an off licence, ready to pay him below minimum wage and keep him in his basement and feed him scraps? You know, no. I don't know about the basement bit, but you get what I'm saying. When a young Chinese lady comes over, a group of them, are there a group of English ladies and gentlemen running a herbal and acupuncture shop, and on the side turn it into a brothel, like a handjob house? You know, they're going to be Chinese people doing that. If there's a load of Nigerian women come in, is there an English white pimp waiting for them to, you know, put them on the street? Most likely not. Sounds a bit kind of harsh, but this is probably the truth of it. So that's what this short video is, really. If you're an indigenous European here in England, don't worry about modern slavery, because it's not your fault. It's the government's fault for doing this. and it's each culture. It's the fault of the culture. It's practicing probably what it does in their indigenous countries. I mean, how much slavery is in China, Pakistan, Nigeria, etc. I mean, I have to look into that, but you know, as is happened in Ireland. Hope I got the facts right, but it's just a little video, a little food for thought, as they say. Yeah, thanks.